Now, Arkansas's most watched sports show, Hooten's Arkansas Football.
Hello and welcome to Hooten's Arkansas Football tonight from the Marketplace Grill, and Arkansas football fans' favorite place to eat before or after games. And we'll tell you about the steaks at Marketplace coming up a little bit later on. But first, we've got highlights from the second round of the Arkansas High School Football Playoffs. We begin in Class 5A, number 1 Springdale playing host to Benton. The Panthers thought they had a chance. Here's the highlights, brought to you by First Security Bank.
The Springdale Bulldogs, 49-point favorites, and fired up about some things Benton said in the newspaper. And it didn't take long for Springdale to go to work. Just 90 seconds into the game, Damian Williams on the punt return, changing direction, setting up blocks, 45-yard return. Springdale was up 7-0. Now Benton would drive to Springdale's 3, but look at the Bulldog D, holding Benton on 4 straight plays from the 3-yard line. And a few plays later, it's Damian Williams with his second touchdown of the night. He scored 3 times. This one puts Springdale up 14-0. Springdale quarterback Mitch Mustang passed for 226 yards and 3 touchdowns, including this one to Andrew Norman. It was 42-0 by halftime, and Springdale nailed Hooten's spread. Final score, Bulldogs 49, Benton 0. At North Little Rock, the Charging Wildcats have never won a second-round playoff game. Friday night, North Little Rock playing host to tradition-rich Northside, and that's Grizzly Andrew Alston taking it 25 yards for the Northside touchdown. It was 7-0. In the second quarter, North Little Rock strikes back. Tim Dunn breaks a few arm tackles, and he ties it up, a 50-yard touchdown run. But the Grizzlies would score 2 more touchdowns and are headed to the semifinals for the second straight year. Final score, Northside 21, North Little Rock 14. On Thursday night at War Memorial Stadium, Russellville in town to take on Little Rock Catholic. Early on, Russellville's Lamonte Payne, playing with a sore ankle, breaks the short pass for a first down, but Eric Bailey's hit forces the fumble, and that's Seth. Show me the end zone arm burst with the scoop, and he's going to score. The former running back, now the big play man on Catholic's D, makes it 6-0. A little bit later, Russellville quarterback Eli Craner's pass is picked off by Michael Squires. Another Russellville turnover, and the Rocket D would just dominate this game. They forced 3 turnovers, held Russellville to -1 yard rushing, and they're headed for the semifinals for the first time since 1985. Final score, Catholic 16, Russellville 7. At West Memphis, the Blue Devil faithful bundled up and ready for Fayetteville. And midway through the first quarter, on 3rd and 8, West Memphis says, give it to the first man through. That's Marquette Williams on a bad ankle, going the distance. Williams and West Memphis ran all over Fayetteville. Williams had to catch his breath several times, rushing for 288 yards. But Fayetteville's offense also had some success, mostly passing, some running by Brent Phillips. But the Blue Devils held off a Fayetteville rally. Final score, West Memphis 42, Fayetteville 35.
They scrounged the line, kind of daring us to throw, and I was too scared to. But once we popped through, there wasn't much in the secondary except, just running the goal line.
Hooten's Arkansas Football had Springdale, West Memphis, and Fort Smith Northside all in our preseason top 4 back on July the 4th when the magazine hit newsstands. They're all in the semifinals. Little Rock Catholic started the year ranked number 9 by the Hootens, even though the Rockets were voted by coaches in their own conference to not even make the playoffs. Fayetteville finishes the year with 9 wins and ranks number 5. Then it's the Cyclones, the Rebels, Bentonville, Benton, which won 9 games, and Bryan at number 10. North Little Rock had hoped to be on the opposite side of the playoff bracket from Springdale, but the Charging Wildcats still couldn't get by the second round. Rogers was number 12, followed by Mountain Home, Forest City, and Texarkana. Watson Chapel was a surprise in the South, winning 7 games this year. And number 19, Little Rock Central, after winning back-to-back state championships, did not make the playoffs. And here is the rest of the top 25. Coming up next, it's more of Hooten's Arkansas Football Class 4A highlights are straight ahead.
Screaming cheerleaders, marching bands, crazy mascots, and dancing drill teams, they've all helped make Friday nights at the stadium a favorite Arkansas pastime. And this fall,
At Greenwood, State Farm Awards Offensive Player of the Year candidate Daniel Stegall and the Bulldogs playing host to the Marion Patriots. And Marion coming out strong. Darcel Johnson, one of the state's top running backs. He's only a junior. And Darcel, who would grind out 288 yards on the night, gets into the end zone standing up. That gave Marion an early 7-0 lead on Greenwood. It would stay that way until midway through the second quarter. That's when Cody Long is going to take the tunnel screen a long way. And Stegall has been outstanding for top top-ranked Greenwood this season. Look at the long legs, lumber for big yardage. Seagal ran for 2 touchdowns and passed for 3 more Friday night against Marion, including this sweet strike to Scott Lloyd. That tied it at 7. It was 17-7 moments later, and Greenwood is headed for the semis for the 2nd straight season. Final score, Greenwood 44, Marion 34. Down in Arkansas County, the Stuttgart Ricebirds were in the 2nd round of the playoffs for the 4th time in 5 years, playing host to super talented Morrilton. And on the 2nd play of the game, that Stuttgart sophomore Tim Reams taking it right up the middle, 69 yards to the house. Stuttgart was up 6-0, but the rest of the half would belong to Morrilton. And the 2nd quarter, junior quarterback Kyle Russell with the fake and the keeper on the bootleg had put the Devil Dogs up 7-6. Then disaster for Stuttgart as Morrilton's Tyler Stovall blocks the punt. Jacob Rover is going to scoop and score. Morrilton's up 14-6, and a little bit later, it's 4th and 20 for Morrilton. Russell will make another big play now. This one, a touchdown pass to Jeffrey Zern. That makes it 21-6 just before halftime, and Morrilton, which started its season with the win over Russellville in the Kickoff Classic, is headed to the semifinals for the first time since 1982. Final score, Morrilton 28, Stuttgart 12. Down in Hope, the Bobcats were taking on defending state champion WYNNE, and Hope superfans Barry Brown and Elizabeth Smith were on hand for the 5th postseason meeting between these two teams this decade. But they didn't have much to cheer about. WYNNE held Hope to just 46 yards rushing. That's State Farm Awards Class 4A Defensive Player of the Year candidate Lee Walker helping to bottle up the Bobcats. On offense, WYNNE racked up 367 yards rushing and scored on its first 5 possessions. Terrence Garrett's 6-yard run put WYNNE up to stay, and the Yellow Jackets earned their 5th trip to the semis since 1999. Final score, WYNNE 33, Hope 0. And here are Hooten's Arkansas football updated Class 4A rankings. Greenwood has been our top-ranked team all year, and they're headed to the semis for the 2nd straight year. Batesville's number 2, the Pioneers beat WYNNE by 9 points earlier in the year and played Morrilton to a virtual dead heat in a preseason scrimmage. There's WYNNE. The Yellow Jackets will get to play host to Greenwood next week. It will be WYNNE's first playoff game at home this year. Morrilton gave up an early touchdown on Friday, but that was about it. The Devil Dogs will travel to Batesville. 2 teams that started their season in the Hooten's Kickoff Classic are in the semis. Alma's season is over. They finish at number 5. Marion is number 6. Next year, the Patriots move up in classification. Stuttgart will be very good next year, actually moving down into the newly realigned Class 4A. The Hope Bobcats tied for the 4A Southwest title this year, but they were no match for the 3rd best team from the East on Friday night. The second 10 starts with Magnolia, then it's the Badgers, the Billies, Fair, and Crossit. Mills played Stuttgart as well as any Class 4A team during the regular season. At number 21, Arkadelphia finished the season strong, and the Badgers should be better next year. They're followed by Greenbrier, Oak Grove, Valonia, and Nettleton.
Now, the ConocoPhillips Spirit Student of the Week.
Greenwood's Caitlin Friedel is a sharp lady. She makes straight A's, plays the flute and piccolo, runs track, and is involved in FBLA, Beta Club, the National Honor Society, and many activities at First Baptist Greenwood. And as a senior, Caitlin tried out and earned the title of Bulldog Band Drum Major.
Our school brings in 3 judges from around the state of Arkansas and surrounding states who come in. We have to learn a routine, direct a routine. We also have to show that we can march proficiently, and we also have to give voice commands to see if we're loud enough.
And congratulations again to Caitlin, our Conoco and Phillips 66 Spirit Student of the Week. Don't forget, it's not too late to get in your Spirit Student nominations. They look something like this. You can pick them up at Conoco and Phillips 66 locations around Arkansas. Mail those in, and at the end of the year, we'll be naming a Spirit Student of the Year, and the winner gets a $2,000 college scholarship. Coming up next, though, it's more of Hooten's Arkansas football. Highlights from Class 3A are straight ahead.
Man, I love the extra long cheese coney. It rules my world, man.
Yeah.
No, it's literally.
And we start our look at Class 3A in West Little Rock, where Pulaski Academy entertained Gosnell. And on the opening drive, junior quarterback Stephen Lux hits Ted Womble. And look at Womble rumble. all the way down to the 7-yard line. PA knocking on the door. 2 plays later, Broderick Green with a short touchdown run. Green finished with a school record 5 touchdown runs on the night, but a little bit later, it's Lux going to the air. He finds one of his favorite targets, junior Brian Langford, taking the short grab, turning it into a 45-yard TD romp, and the Bruins were in control of this one from the start. Final score, Pulaski Academy 56, Gosnell 14. From Pulaski County to Howard County now, the 5th-ranked Nashville Scrappers looking for their 12th win of the season, playing host to number 13 Highland. Highland with senior Joey Gaskins recording the sack right here for the Rebels, but it didn't keep Nashville from jumping on Highland early. The Scrappers were up by 28-6 in the second quarter, and looking for more, Deshaun Scoggins running tough for Nashville. The Scrapper sophomore had 138 yards on the night. Then Nashville's standout quarterback A.J. Whitmore takes over. He had 112 yards on the ground in this game. This sweet sprint capped a 4-play, 56-yard drive for Nashville right before halftime. It was 35-6 at the break, and Nashville cruises the rest of the way. Scrappers, welcome to the semifinals. Final score, Nashville 40, Highland 12. Up at Booneville, the number 1 ranked Bearcats playing host to Hamburg, and Booneville turned a 1-touchdown lead at halftime into a blowout in a hurry. Curtis Christian blocks the punt early in the third quarter, and that would set up Booneville on the very next play. It's Big Daniel Shaw rumbling all the way to the end zone. Booneville's up by 2 touchdowns now, and the Bearcats go for the 2-point conversion. State Farm Awards candidate Derek Davis is going to keep it, and Coach Ken Rippey's Bearcats are rolling now. Just moments later, watch this. It's the big fella again. That's Daniel Shaw. Hamburg, you can't stop this. And the Bearcats advance with the trip to Nashville next. Final score, number 1 Booneville 59, Hamburg 26. Central Arkansas Christian playing host to a second-round playoff game for the 3rd straight year, and the Mustangs were already up on Newport 13-0 when senior Trent Morgan goes 5 yards for an easy score. CAC's going for 2, and sturdy sophomore quarterback Drew Stringfella marches in untouched, and the Mustangs roll over Newport. Final score, CAC 42, Newport 7. We head to Warren now, where Shiloh Christian was looking to shock the state and the Lumberjacks. Shiloh was up 19-18 in the fourth quarter. Warren looking to get back in it, and they're going for it on 4th and 1 from their own 24, but Jonathan Cooper is stopped short by Shiloh's defense. And just a couple of plays later, the Saints take advantage of the great field position. Junior quarterback Matt Simpson finds classmate Patrick Ryan 24-yard TD. Shiloh now up by 8, 26-18 with 9 minutes left. And a little bit later, Warren now facing 4th and 3. They decide to punt it this time, but there's a bad snap. The scramble is on. Shiloh will get the ball at the Warren 1-yard line. Now, it took the Saints 3 plays to capitalize, but Simpson finally completes his 4th touchdown pass of the night. This one to junior Austin Tucker. Shiloh up 33-18. Warren would come back. Cooper threw 2 touchdown passes to A.J. Avery late, but it wasn't enough. The underdog Saints hold on for the upset in Bradley County. Final score, Shiloh 33, Warren 32.
We shocked the state, fellas. Nobody gave you a chance. Nobody gave you a chance except us. This brought back some respect for Shiloh. This brought back some big respect coming down here. They're a heck of a football team, man. Heck of a football team. There's not anybody in the state more talented than those guys right there.
Except us.
And the Booneville Bearcats have been Hooten's Arkansas football number 1 team since the magazine hit newsstands on July the 4th. Just like all the other classifications, our number 1 is still number 1 about 6 months later. Osceola moves up to number 2 after beating Dollarway by a touchdown on Friday night. Nashville's up to number 3. The Scrappers have scored almost 100 points in 2 playoff games, and they've got the big one with Booneville on the hill in Nashville next week. Ashdown has won back-to-back playoff games for the first time in school history. Shiloh Christian shoots into the top 5 after shocking all of South Arkansas with that 1-point win at Warren. Shiloh plays at Ashdown next week. Number 6 CAC is in the quarterfinals for the 3rd straight year, and Pulaski Academy, which beat Osceola by 1 last year, has to travel to Osceola next. Warren finishes the year at number 8, and there are no teams left from the 8 AAA in the playoffs. GRAVETTE is the surprise team of the year. After finishing 3rd in the 1 AAA, they'll play at CAC next. Dollarway's defense was good. They held Osceola to just 15 points Friday night, but still lost the game by a touchdown. The second 10 starts with HAMBURG and Clinton. The Yellow Jackets won a school record of 11 games this year. Pokey's number 13. Then it's HIGHLAND and NEWPORT. Gosnell finishes the year at number 16. The Pirates gave up 33 points and almost 300 yards in the first half at Pulaski Academy. Then it's Atkins, Paris, Harrisburg, and Bauxite, which will actually drop down and play in a reshuffled Class 3A next year. The Miners could be a threat to make it deep in the playoffs in 2006. After the Miners, it's Prairie Grove, Hoxie, Farmington. We had another wild one in Howard County. Hooten's number 6 Greenland at number 15 DIERKS. And this one was full of big plays. Greenland's J.R. Lyons out-jumps the defense for Dustin Morton's pass. That set up a short Aaron Smith score. And this game was tied at 21 in the third quarter. But here come the Outlaws. Sophomore quarterback Michael Neva under pressure. He's going deep. Marcus Green behind the secondary. And the Outlaws are looking to take the lead on the next play. Neva hands to senior stud Jordan Watson. He's airborne, and DIERKS is up 28-21. But Greenland mounted a 7-play drive late, capped by this Morton sneak. It was tied at 28, and we're headed for overtime.
Stop the trap and the quarterback. You hear me? Stop it right here. Overtime. Force them make a run.
A thriller in DIERKS, and here's your play of the game. Greenland with the play action. Looks like a sure touchdown, but Nathan Stone from out of nowhere with the pick. Great play for DIERKS, and the Outlaws immediately go for the field goal. Neva for the win. He splits the uprights, and DIERKS is headed for the quarterfinals. Final score from Southwest Arkansas, the DIERKS Outlaws 31, Greenland 28. Our second stop in Class 2A takes us to Smackover, where the Buckaroos were out to bust up Desart. Smackover takes advantage of good field position early when sophomore quarterback Jonathan Martisic passes the ball to Michael Lewis, who breaks a tackle and scoots into the end zone. That's a 14-yard touchdown. Smackover 7, Desart 0. Now, on its third possession, Smackover turns to senior tailback Brent Stevens. He got 11 yards there for a first down. He would finish with 130, and 2 plays later, it's the senior Brent Stevens again, 15 yards. That's just one of his 3 touchdowns on the night. The Buckaroos were up 14-0. It was 27-0 by halftime. Desart just totaled 40 yards offense in the first 2 quarters. And next week, Smackover heads to DIERKS, a team they beat by 1 point in overtime the second week of the season. Final score, Smackover 34, Desart 12. In Little Rock, undefeated 4AA champion Episcopal Collegiate playing host to Mineral Springs. Episcopal was up 16-6 in the second quarter when Mineral's running back Dante Ramsey takes it 6 yards for a score. The 2-point conversion is good too. Drake Staggs with all day finds Jerry White. That put Mineral within 2, 14-12. And this one was tied at 28 late in the fourth quarter, but Episcopal Collegiate pulls it out. Final score, Wildcats 36, Mineral Springs 28. Up at Searcy, Harding Academy, which started its season impressively in the Hooten's Kickoff Classic, looking for its 12th straight win and playing host to Perryville. And look at the Mustangs late in the first quarter. Senior Dustin McAnally goes 35 yards for the touchdown jaunt. Perryville was up 6-0, but a few plays later, Harding Academy would answer. Senior quarterback Zach Tribble finds Chris Pack, 15-yard pass. Tribble, a good quarterback, a great kicker. His extra point made it 7-6, and Harding Academy wouldn't look back. Final score, Wildcats 33, Perryville 22. At Charleston, the defending state runner-up Tigers had no trouble with Gurdon. Charleston was up 37-6 in this game late, just running out the clock. Number 1, Andy McDonald getting some playing time. Gurdon would score late with Kentrell Green going to Jerome Collins on back-to-back passing plays. That would set the final margin. And next week, Charleston gets a rematch of last year's title game with RISON. Final score, Tigers 37, Gurdon 12.
Great chance at a rematch, and RISON's the best, and they've been the best for a long time, and you got to play the best sometime. You might as well play them at your home field.
Number 1 RISON held Cross County to 55 yards Friday night and survived for a 6-0 victory. The Wildcats will travel to Charleston next week for a rematch of last year's state championship game that RISON won 30-15. Harding Academy moved past Perryville 33-22 Friday night, and the Wildcats will welcome Junction City to First Security Stadium for a quarterfinal matchup next Friday. Number 3 SMACKOVER jumped on Des Arc Friday night, stuffing the Eagles offense and scoring all the points it would need in the first quarter. Charleston just wore out Girton Friday night, and DIERKS moves up 10 spots after turning away Greenland in overtime. You saw the highlights only on Hooten's. Des Arc slips down to number 6, followed by Greenland and Cross County. Episcopal Collegiate overcame multiple mistakes to topple Mineral Springs by 8, and 10th ranked Harmony Grove took advantage of 7 East Poinsett County turnovers to bury the Warriors 56-6. Perryville drops 4 spots this week. There's Junction City. The Dragons scored 21 points in the fourth quarter Friday night to win at Jessieville. There's Hughes, Jessieville, and Lavaca. Girton finishes at number 16, followed by Eudora, EPC, Mark Tree, and Mineral Springs. Magnet Cove, Murfreesboro, the Clarendon Lions, Hazen, and Mount Ida round out the top 25. For our State Farm Play of the Week, we head right back to Southwest Arkansas. Greenland and DIERKS in overtime. Looks like a sure touchdown for Greenland, but the Outlaws' Nathan Stone with the sweet pick that would set up DIERKS' game-winning field goal, and the Outlaws stay alive in the playoffs. And that...
Hey, thanks again for watching Hooten's Arkansas football tonight from the Marketplace Grill. It's a Hooten's Arkansas football favorite, and I want you to check out this. It's the Cajun ribeye. That's a 14-ounce choice ribeye. This is some high-quality, good meat. They mesquite grill it with some Cajun seasoning. You add a potato to that, glass of tea, and you are set. The Marketplace Grill has locations in Northwest Arkansas, Springdale, Fayetteville, Rogers, also in Fort Smith, and in Conway. Of course, Marketplace offers large group delivery, and now here at the Conway location, they have curbside takeout available. So don't forget the Marketplace Grill on a Friday night or Saturday afternoon as you travel to and from games or over the holidays. It's a great place to meet family and friends, the Marketplace Grill, and we look forward to seeing you again next Saturday night when we'll have highlights of the semifinals and quarterfinals of 5A, 4A, 3A, and 2A on Hooten's Arkansas football. That's next Saturday night. We'll see you then.
You've been watching Arkansas's most watched sports show, Hooten's Arkansas Football.